Can we eat at every restaurant on the world's biggest and newest cruise ship? Spoiler alert, no. But during a 4-day showcase sailing on Star of the Seas, we made it our goal to eat and drink in as many restaurants, bars, and lounges as we possibly could. We are Hannah and Jeremy, and this is the Savory Suitcase. Last time on our channel, we shared what it was like exploring this mega ship that is being sold as the world's best family vacation, as just 2 adults with no kids in tow. On this episode, we are taking you along for all of the dining and drinking opportunities that we experienced while on Royal Caribbean's newest and largest cruise ship currently sailing.
Before we dive into the food, here are a few quick facts about the Star of the Seas. This mega ship comes in at over 250,000 gross tons, with room for nearly 8,000 guests when at full capacity. It stretches over 20 decks with neighborhoods designed with something for everyone, from family fun to thrill seekers to the nightlife, and it officially began sailing in 2025 as the second ship in the Icon class. It's designed to feel like a floating city, so no matter what kind of experience you're looking for, relaxing, adventurous, or indulgent, there's a spot for it somewhere on board.
When it comes to food and drinks, the numbers are just as impressive. More than 20 dining options serve up everything from fast casual tacos and pizza to elegant steak dinners and fresh seafood. Add in over a dozen bars and lounges, each with its own theme and specialty drinks, and you could sail for a week and still not hit them all. The Star will be sailing 7-night itineraries out of Port Canaveral, so you'll have plenty of time to explore all of these options, and even maybe hit up your favorite spot more than once. We were on a showcase sailing, which was only 4 days compared to the usual 7, so we didn't quite make it everywhere, but we gave it a good try.
So let's jump into the food. We're going to break this up into 3 different categories to help make things easier, starting with complimentary dining, moving on to specialty dining and paid options, and then finally, bars and drink spots. There are going to be some places on board that we did miss, so we won't be including them in this video. So just know that when you board for your sailing, there are even more options than what you've seen here. Starting with complimentary dining, this is everything that is included with your cruise fare, quick bites and casual options that won't cost you a dime. Well, at least not any more dimes than you've already spent on the cruise itself.
The Windjammer. This is the ship's all-you-can-eat buffet, famous for its variety and pretty much available sunup to sundown every day. Don't worry about sleeping in too late and missing breakfast. The Windjammer will be there ready for you. During the inaugural season on new ships, Royal does an elevated buffet on embarkation day, so we braved the lunchtime crowds and picked up a few lobster tails and shrimps to start our journey. We overheard someone refer to this as the Food Jammer, and we will be referencing it as such from now on.
Aqua Dome Market. This is a new concept on the Icon class ships, and it's a food hall vibe with multiple stalls offering everything from Asian flavors to Mediterranean bites under the massive Aqua Dome. At the counter, you get to customize your order. Like at the Mediterranean counter, you can pick your choice of lettuce or a pita and your choice of meat and other toppings. We really liked the nostalgic feel of this because it was kind of like going to the food court at the mall like when we were younger, and they were open pretty late, so we stopped by for crepes after dinner a couple times.
A Loco Fresh. This is the go-to spot for tacos, burritos, and casual Mexican eats. Perfect for a quick poolside lunch. My camera died the day that we were here for lunch, but these are a few shots from the Utopia, and the menu and vibes are very similar. Sorrento's. The famous Royal spot serving up hot, cheesy pizza by the slice almost round the clock for all of those late-night cravings. You know you've had a good evening on board when you're standing in line at Sorrento's around midnight or later with you and all of your new buddies that you met at karaoke. Sprinkles. Your stop for soft serve ice cream because no cruise is complete without unlimited cones in the sun. There are 2 locations on the Star, one in Chill Island and one in Surfside. It takes the same length of time to eat one cone as it does to walk from one Sprinkles to the other. Coincidence? I think not.
Pearl Cafe. Sitting behind the incredibly impressive Pearl, a remarkable kinetic art piece that welcomes you on board, You can grab some quick bites for breakfast or lunch, things like sandwiches, wraps, and pastries available any time of the day. You can also pick up a coffee here, but without the drink package, the specialty coffees do cost extra. Surfside Eatery. This is the family-friendly buffet in the kids' neighborhood Surfside. Let's call it Food Jammer Jr. The super adorable thing is that a lot of the food here is kid-sized or bite-sized, but they also have some stuff that adults might like, so you don't have to feel like you're stuck with chicken tenders. Unless that's what you like, of course.
And finally, the main dining room. Royal Caribbean's classic dining experience with rotating menus and waiter service every night. We actually ended up eating at specialty restaurants every night of this cruise. More about that next. But we did come here for breakfast one morning, and the space is beautiful. And if it's anything like previous cruises that we've been on with Royal, the dinners in the dining room are pretty good, and there are a lot of options. Royal has definitely elevated their specialty dining options, and they really do outshine the main dining room. But if we're on a 7-night cruise, I could definitely see not wanting to spend the money on specialty dining every night, and the main dining room is still a nice sit-down meal for the evening.
Next up, let's look at the specialty dining and additional cost options. These can range from a couple of bucks to hundreds of dollars for a sit-down meal. But these are all completely optional, so if you're looking to keep your onboard account at zero, you could completely ignore any of these spaces, but some of them are definitely worth the splurge.
Starting with Sugar Beach, a candy shop not so accidentally placed in Surfside, the family neighborhood, with giant lollipops, gummy bears, and chocolate by the pound. They are also spinning up cotton candy for just $2.
Deserted Milkshake Bar. If you didn't have enough sugar in Surfside, you can head up to the over-the-top milkshake bar and pick up a milkshake loaded with cookies, candy, and whipped cream, a total Instagram moment. If you have the drink package, the basic milkshakes are included, but the fun-themed ones are not. Real talk, it wasn't really worth the price. They were more visually appealing than appetizing, but we did bring home our piñata as a souvenir.
Pier 7. Located in the Surfside neighborhood, Pier 7 is the sit-down restaurant with a Baja California feel with dishes that everyone in the family can enjoy. As a specialty restaurant, there is an additional cost here, but it's actually complimentary for anyone under 12. The food here was really good, and I probably had the best quesadilla that I've had in a while here.
Next stop is Chops Grille, Royal Caribbean's signature steakhouse with premium cuts and a classic upscale atmosphere. Chopped is open for dinner and lunch on sea days. For this cruise, we got the unlimited dining package, which allows you to dine at specialty restaurants for dinner every night and for lunch on sea days. Chops is included in this package, so we came here for dinner on the first night. The steak was cooked absolutely perfect, and the sides were a great addition. They also let us take our dessert to go to be enjoyed later when we weren't so full. Hot tip, most restaurants were actually willing to do this, so don't miss out on the included dessert.
Giovanni's Italian Kitchen. The home-style Italian joint serving up classics from pasta to wood-fire pizzas served family style. We ended up eating here twice during our cruise. It's a long story that involves some flip-flops, but it was one of our favorite meals on board. They also offer a complimentary glass of limoncello with dessert that really seals the deal.
Izumi, the onboard hibachi spot serving up a fun, interactive dining experience. We had Izumi for lunch on a sea day. So don't let the difference in the lunch and dinner prices fool you. The portion sizes are the same. So if you're paying individually for the premium restaurants, Izumi is a better deal for lunch. It's also just an all-around fun experience.
Hooked Seafood. Hooked is a New England-style seafood restaurant serving up dishes like lobster roll and crab cakes in a nautical-themed setting. Situated inside of the Aquadome, and if it wasn't dark out when we went, we would have enjoyed a beautiful ocean view. We have kind of mixed reviews of the food. Some of the dishes were pretty good, some were a little lackluster. But we timed our dinner reservation perfectly so that when we were done, we just stepped out of the restaurant and grabbed seats for the Aqua Show.
the Chef's Table. Located in the Aquadome inside Hooked Restaurant, the Chef's Table is held in a private, intimate room offering a multi-course, fine dining event hosted by an onboard chef and includes wine pairings.
Hi, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Chef Table. By the way, thank you so much for choosing Chef Table for having your dinner tonight. Yes, my name is Monica, all the way from the Philippines, and I will be your person. On top, it has red radish, red bell pepper, scallion, microgreens, and on the side, it has fried quinoa seeds. For the dressing, we have yuzu dressing.
Adriatic sea too, so it's in the Dolomites and the Italian Alps, and then the aromas in the wines are citrusy, pink grapefruit, lemon, of course, and match the yuzu.
We have done Chef's Tables a couple of times on different ships, and it is always an amazing experience, and this was no different. The Chef's Table is usually $110 per person, but with the unlimited dining package, it's only an additional $50. Totally worth it for such a highly curated, thoughtful, prepared meal.
It's 24 hours marinated with herb oil, salt and pepper, and finish it in the flat grill. For the vegetable, we have sauteed baby carrots, asparagus, zucchini, and squash. On the side, we have black truffle mashed potato, dehydrated cherry tomato, and our homemade potato chips. For the sauce, on the side, we have Bernaise sauce. So it's a white wine reduction with flour mousse, peanut butter brulee, and our homemade salted caramel gelato. And we will unveil the world by pouring the hot caramel sauce on it. Yes. So the salted caramel will balance the sweetness of the chocolate dessert.
The Lincoln Park Supper Club. A dinner and show experience pairing elevated cuisine with live jazz performances. So, story time. We did have reservations here for one of the nights during our sailing, but due to a series of unfortunate events, some our fault, like me not packing any shoes for Jeremy, and some Royal Caribbean's fault, like our reservation not showing up in their system even though it was showing in our app, we did not get to dine at the Lincoln Park Supper Club. The dress code is formal, so just be prepared for that. The staff was amazingly kind and offered to help us rebook for another night, but let's just say, if flip-flops are the only footwear that you packed for the cruise, just decide to skip this spot, because there are not a lot of options to pick up some closed-toed shoes while floating in the Atlantic.
And then finally, let's take a look at the bars. This ship has 17 bars and lounges on board, and they all have their own unique theme and atmosphere. The Star has some of the bars that are common across the fleet, like the Schooner Bar and Playmakers, but it also has some that are unique to just the Icon class, like Bubbles in Central Park, and some that are exclusive to just the Star, like Thorn and Thistle.
We did something a little out of character for us, and we actually got the drink package for this cruise. We snagged it for 55% off before the sailing, which is a pretty good deal, considering that it also includes coffee and soda and bottled water. So, because of this, we really made an effort to visit a bunch of different bars and lounges on board.
Included in the drink package are these freestyle machines with unlimited sodas that are self-serve style. I love these because you can make all different kinds of weird combinations. So, with the drink package in hand, we decided to make the most of it and explore the different bars on board. We quickly found some favorites and a few surprised us along the way. Here's a look at the bars that we visited and what stood out.
Overlook Bar. This was the first place that we stopped once on board, luggage and all, enjoying the panoramic views at the front of the ship with cozy seating and relaxed vibe. There are also overlook pods in this area, and they're like a cozy little bird's nest perched high above the sea, perfect for hanging out, enjoying a drink, and watching the waves roll by.
Rye and Bean. Just up the stairs from the Overlook Bar is Rye and Bean, a new concept for the Icon class serving coffee by day and espresso martinis by night. Well, actually, you can get an espresso martini anytime you want. We're both pretty big coffee drinkers and found ourselves here multiple times throughout our sailing. Lime and Coconut. The ship's signature tropical bar right in the middle of Chill Island, perfectly positioned between multiple pools on board. We always got the signature drink called the Lime and Coconut, and it's really just the perfect poolside cocktail.
Bubbles, a champagne and sparkling wine bar in the middle of Central Park. We loved the vibe of this place. It was reminiscent of a wine window in Italy, where you can just grab a glass and then continue on with your day. And even if you're not a big straight-up champagne fan, they also have Bellinis and mimosas too. Thorn and Thistle, a classic pub-style bar with craft beers and tabletop pub games, which Jeremy became an instant expert at. There's also live music here, and the vibe felt straight out of your local neighborhood British pub. Friendly servers, darts, and the kind of energy that makes you want to stay for just one more drink. The Lemon Post, a family-friendly bar. No, not as weird as it sounds. They offer matching mocktails and cocktails in the Surfside neighborhood. This is such a cute concept for the family neighborhood, giving the adults somewhere to grab a drink, but without having to wander too far from the action on the splash pad. They also have Royal Caribbean's version of a Capri Sun called Little Sailors, adorable for photos.
Dueling Pianos. This high-energy bar with live music, sing-alongs, and crowd participation ended up being one of our favorite things that we did on the ship. The performers were incredibly talented piano players and ridiculously hilarious. They played songs based on crowd requests, so every show is different and the bar menu is pretty fun with a drink that has pop rocks and some rock and roll themed drink names. After 4 days of eating, drinking, and exploring as much as we could on the Star of the Seas, one thing has become clear. This ship isn't just about getting from port to port. It is a full-on floating adventure with more dining, lounges, and hidden gems than you could possibly fit into one short sailing.
Even though we didn't make it to every single spot on board, what we did experience gave us a taste of just how much variety Royal Caribbean has packed into this new ship. Whether you're here for craft cocktails, specialty dining, late night pizza, or just a soft-served cone in between activities, there really is something for everyone.
So, if you're planning your own cruise on the Star of the Seas, our biggest tip is this. Pace yourself, make a few reservations in advance, and leave room to try the spots that surprise you along the way, because half the fun is discovering your own favorites.
We will be taking a full 7-night sailing on the Icon coming up in spring of next year, so make sure you've subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out. And if you haven't already, check out our last video where we explored much more of the ship. And next time we visit Coco Cay while both the Star and the Icon are in port. Can the island handle these 2 mega ships? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next adventure.